masters, and honored guests. Sting like a bee. Most of you have an idea of who this little moniker is about. Muhammad Ali, formerly known as Cassius Clay. I don't know if the rest of you have the same feeling about certain sports as I do, but I can tell you without question, my most unfavorite sport is boxing. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I've always hated it, but since I began writing for the Rehab Institute of Chicago and saw what brain injury is like, I even hate it more. Okay, so, hey bartender, one of my recent books that's out. My co-author loves boxing. Did I say, no, I'm not going to write up your story about Muhammad Ali? No, I said, okay, tell me about it. And I wrote it up. So, I'd like to read you this little story about my co-author's experience with Muhammad Ali. At the Fifth Street Gym in Miami Beach one afternoon, I plopped myself on a bench to watch young Cassius Clay spar. Always a thrill for me. The first time I saw him, I thought he was the finest specimen of a man I had ever seen. Many times I watched him box with Jimmy Ellis, his most noble sparring partner. As teens, Cassius and Jimmy met while training in the same gym in Louisville, Kentucky. Later, Cassius Clay changed his name to Muhammad Ali to reflect his change of religion. He won the World Heavyweight Championship in boxing 3 times and is widely considered one of the best boxers of all time. Ali's self-promotional skills were legendary too. Jimmy went on to be a heavyweight champion, by the way. When I first went to see Cassius train, he hadn't achieved full greatness yet, so few other groupies were there. Later, the crowds would come. Alternating, each sparring partner would box 3 rounds with Ali. Most times I'd watch 12 rounds of pretty darn good boxing. Some of the fighters would get pretty testy with him. He never stopped dancing or taunting his partners. He'd just wear them out. Then he would unleash some lightning combinations that would abruptly end the matches. This was still early in his professional career, but he'd already won an Olympic gold medal in the Summer Olympics in Rome in 1960. This particular afternoon, a sideshow was about to begin. Some reporter had rigged up sound and lights and was preparing to conduct an interview with Clay. Since I was close, just a few feet away, I could watch it all and overhear every word. The champ, still sweaty after sparring, a towel wrapped around his neck, walked over to another bench and sat down. After the reporter introduced himself, he said, "Please don't be nervous, champ. It's just going to be a short, to-the-point Q&A." Ali bolted as if electrified. "What do you mean, telling me not to be nervous? I'm 23 years old, and I have the United States government trying to put me in jail for draft evasion. I've got these hungry contenders trying to knock my head off to take my belt away. I've got wives suing me for my money. And you tell me not to be nervous? There ain't another 23-year-old man in the world who has my kind of problems. So I think you should be nervous, not me. The Star reporter didn't recover from the shock of Clay's tirade. The rest of the interview was lame.